Okay, hi, it's afternoon here. We just finished Saturday training. The adults were just in, with the kids in this morning as well, so 2 kids classes, so busy day always at Coyote on Saturdays. Before we start, big congratulations to the young guys who got their belts during the week, so a lot of new grey belts and new orange belts as well there today, so well done to those guys. Today guys, I'm going to talk to you really quickly about forearm strength and grip strength and elbow problems. So during the week a lot of people were talking to me about, we had a discussion about kind of problems with the elbow, pain in the elbow, pain in the bicep, tendonitis, which if you've ever had it is extremely painful, not very nice. And it's almost, I don't think it's unique to our sport, but it's certainly a factor in our sport, and it comes from gripping and grabbing the kimono all the time, or grabbing your opponent's wrists, sleeves, bicep, tricep, whatever it is, and this constant squeezing motion that we always have. So if you're familiar with pain here, or even sometimes pain into the tricep or even into the hand, or even if you just want to get your grips stronger to grab people, this might help you, okay? So there's a few bits and pieces that I have with me, and most of them you'll have yourself, but there's a couple of bits you might not have at home, but I'll go through them anyway. So the first thing is a resistance band, a dowel or a broom handle, anything like that will do, any sort of stick will do. A plate, this is a 5 kilo plate, but you can use any way you want. What you may not have yourself is the resistance band or a set of these, which are fat grips, but there's alternatives to fat grips as well. Actually, I'll give the brand its proper due, because fat grips are one brand. These are called grip rippers from Valhalla Fitness. They don't give me any money or anything like that, believe me, but just to make sure that I don't get confused with the other brand. And the final thing is my gi, okay? So that's what I'm going to use. If you don't have a gi at home or up in the gym or whatever it is, you can use a towel, a regular old towel. So I'm going to start simple and then work my way up from there. It's not very difficult to understand why things get painful in your elbow if you understand some of the really fundamental anatomy of it. And the more learned people that I speak to tell me that strength here is very common, but strength in the forearm is not. And as a result, when you go to grip and when you're doing a lot of movements and rotations and movements around like this, there's a lot of force exerted on the elbow joint. And if the balance between here and here is not correct, in other words, if the forearm muscles are weak and the grip is weak, then it can create a shearing force within the elbow joint itself, and that creates tendon issues. Okay, so the other thing is just to get a stronger grip, just to be able to hold on to chokes longer or takedowns longer, what have you. It's always helpful. So the first thing I'm going to do is roll-ups, and it's actually before we even do the roll-ups, I'm going to do even before that. There's a really handy one that we got from some elbow rehab that a couple of guys were doing, and it's basically just playing Star Wars. So what you're going to do is place your hand out in front of you and very simply rotate with a straight arm the dowel through that 90-degree angle. And if you're brave, you can go a little further down, but I don't think it really adds much more to the exercise except a little bit of additional resistance. So if you were to do 3 sets of 10, particularly if you've got like painful elbows and painful arms, they're really good. Those are quick exercises. The second one is really simple. I'll loop my resistance band through my plate. To make a little nice tight sort of thing here. Slide this up to the middle. Obviously I'll have to start it and just switch around, so I start the roll here. Oh, a little tricky to get started, but once we do, we're fine. And then hands out in front and rev like a motorbike. And if you were thinking that this looks easy, I can guarantee you that 3 sets of this and your forearms will be burning. And actually I can already feel the kind of burn from there. So a few sets of that. If you don't have a resistance band, you can use a dowel and just a piece of string. It's a little bit easier because the resistance band kind of creates this little shake on it and it makes it a little bit harder. So that's the second exercise. So we got our rotations there, and we got our what we call roll-ups. After that we can move to the pull-up bar. And the pull-up bar, if you do pull-ups regularly, it's great. But once you can do a few of them, you can move on to these. So I'll use the gi first because this is what everybody has. You might not have fat grips or, sorry, grip grippers at home. So what I do is loop my gi in to the pull-up bar, free up a little bit so I can see the collars, and I make sure that the tag is exactly on the middle. I'm going to take a grip, and I can do some pull-ups. And the idea is to straighten the grip in a kind of a useful fashion. And also a good test of your kimono as well, see if they can hang on to it. The grip grippers, or any brand of these, you can get them generic now on Amazon and stuff like that as well, work the same as for your pull-up. However, because they are a wider grip, they force your hands into this pattern instead of being able to almost meet the thumbs. So even when I go around here, I can't get my hand all the way around there, so I can't connect thumb and forefinger, and that means that I have to grip a little harder. And they work really well when you do it like this. You can cheat a little by doing a hook grip from here, or gripping for pull-ups, for chin-ups. They offer an extra little bit of resistance and tension through your forearms. And the idea is, you feel I'm a little bit out of breath even just doing those few things there. The idea is to build up the strength in the forearm, to build up the grip strength, to avoid, and I mentioned this in a video before, that the main function of strength and conditioning for you really should be to avoid injury. So if you can build up the strength of your forearms, you will avoid a lot of common overuse injuries with the elbows. Not necessarily like to avoid getting your arm cranked in an arm bar and a key lock or something like that, because they're just what we call acute injuries. They're things that are going to happen. But the things that develop, chronic injuries that develop over time, elbow pain and nasty stuff like that as well. Particularly if you consider your lifestyle. If your lifestyle is spent at a computer all day, it's not exactly going to be great for your forearms anyway. So there's a few for you. If you wanted to, if you already have like elbow pain, or even if you just want to increase your grip, they're also really, really good for you too. I would say that if you are suffering from tendonitis, if you're suffering from general elbow pain or anything like that, the thing to do is not follow some idiot speaking for 5 minutes on a YouTube video. You should be seeing a physiotherapist or a doctor. He should be able to give you exercises that suit your condition, because some of these might not suit you. They might actually create more of a problem for you. So make sure you're using them with some sensibility. The final thing I suppose I'd say is that if you do a little bit of these before training, it's super, but you have to be quite consistent. So there's no point in doing them one week and then 2 weeks later you do them a little bit more again. So make them a part of your routine and make them a part of your habit, and then they'll be far better for you. Okay, that's all for today.